11Alive News Weekend Mornings starts now.
Breaking news out of Cobb County. A man is dead after police say he was shot by a Cobb County officer at a Walgreens. What we're learning right now.
Hey, hijack us. We're outside. Don't ask you again.
Escorted out of a heated meeting in College Park where City Council voted to censor the mayor. We walk you through exactly what happened. Plus, presidential candidates are vying for your vote by promising to lower the price at the pump. Why experts say low prices from the past won't be coming back. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning. I'm Ariana Manise. We'll bring you those stories in a moment, but first, let's take a live look outside. This is a look at our Midtown camera at the Georgia Tech campus. What a beautiful sight to see. Let's get a check of your Saturday forecast with our meteorologist, Nicole Hotford, who joins us with a closer look at your weather impact forecast. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning, and it is a beautiful start across North Georgia. It's mild out there. It's pretty warm to start off the day, which should come as no surprise. We're at 74 degrees currently in Atlanta. The little change, though, is our wind direction. Winds right now are coming out of the north-northwest at about 7 miles per hour. It's a very small change, but it will usher in some slightly less humid air over the course of the weekend, which should make the heat at least a little bit more bearable. Right now, however, humidity is still pretty high, which has led to some spots of really patchy fog. Our visibility just an hour or so ago was much more limited, but we're seeing big improvements. Still down to 5 miles through Blairsville. Many of us are completely clear to start off the morning, but where we do have those patchy fog areas might be a little bit more dreary to start off your day. Our radar, though, mostly, if not completely clear. So if you're dealing with the fog right now, do not fret. We'll clear out to nice sunny skies pretty quickly as the morning progresses. The next few hours, they look warm. We'll see a few clouds develop by this afternoon. Temperature-wise, we'll get up into the mid to upper 80s by about lunchtime, and then highs today will top out in the low to mid 90s. That's really comparable to where we've been the last couple of days. It doesn't necessarily put us into dangerous heat criteria, but it's still going to be summertime heat. So it's a good idea if you are going to be outdoors. Just make sure to stay hydrated. And if you're doing anything strenuous, just take some breaks in the shade. As we go through the weekend, not a whole lot is changing. High temperatures today, low to mid 90s, highs tomorrow, low to mid 90s. Notice, though, that little drop in your overnight temperatures. By tomorrow morning, our overnight lows fall into the upper 60s and the low 70s thanks to the falling humidity. We'll enjoy that lower humidity for the next couple of days, keeping any rain chance at bay when those rain chances return coming up. Ariana?
All right, thank you, Nicole. We start with breaking news out of Cobb County, where police say an armed man was shot and killed by police inside of a Walgreens. Our Erica Murphy joins us live right now. Erica, this all unfolding late last night. What have you been able to learn and explain exactly how this all unfolded?
Yes, Ariana, what we know this morning is that the Cobb County Police Department encountered what they're saying is a wanted man inside the Walgreens here on Cobb Parkway last night. And when they tried to approach that man, that's when things turned deadly. Now, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is going to take over this case. Cobb County Police say this happened Friday night inside the store just before 11:30. Police say as they moved to approach the man, a struggle ensued. And during that struggle, the man was shot and then taken to Kennestone Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Earlier, we spoke with a woman who was on the phone with this man when everything happened.
And I was on the phone with him. He FaceTimed me, and he put me in his pocket, and basically the police had him cornered. They were yelling at him. He was yelling back, trying to, tell him, like, his hands are up. He was saying repeatedly, my hands are up, my hands are up. I guess, like when you raise your arms, your shirt raises a little. They saw it, and they yelled, gun, 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 and they shot him multiple times. And then he fell down, and one of the police officers was like, really? And just hung up the phone call.
Now, what's interesting here is what police are not saying. They're not saying how many police officers were involved in this deadly shooting. They're also not saying what led them to this store in the first place. I also think it's interesting to note that there is still crime scene tape in front of the entrance to this Walgreens. A quick Google of this store and a call to the store will tell you that it is temporarily closed. For how long, We don't know that yet. Reporting from Cobb County, Erica Murphy, 11Alive News.
Thank you, Eric. And as you mentioned, this is still a developing story. We're trying to get more information at this time, and we'll bring you updates when we get those details. Right now, police in DeKalb County, they're investigating a late-night shooting that has a young man fighting for his life. Police, they were called to Woodrow Road, just off of Evans Mill Road in Stonecrest. They say the 20-year-old victim was a passenger in a car that was riding down another road when they were shot. Right now, the city of College Park is once again dealing with controversy. Last night, City Council held a special meeting to censor or condemn the mayor, claiming she acted out during a meeting on Monday night, forcing council members to walk out and the meeting to end. Our Angelina Salicito was there for that contentious meeting and vote.
What started off rosy,
it was really touching to me to show that I had support in the room.
Quickly turned chaotic.
Clear your room.
This is a public meeting. We're not clearing the room.
They hijacked our city. We're outside. I'm going to ask you again.
An emptied out room, some residents put in cuffs, and a meeting almost adjourned. But still,
everyone present is in favor of a censure.
College Park Mayor Bianca Motley Broom censured by her own city council.
I don't know whether we can conduct business under this arrangement. We've already removed every member of the public, and I've been doing this for 20 years and I've never seen that. And this is not a good day in College Park.
Despite the meeting continuing, residents were left frustrated.
It is certainly not a good look when we are thirsting for transparency.
While the mayor and council were both disappointed,
I don't think that that was the best display of what we can do as a governing body.
We've had so many opportunities to try to mend things, and I believe we still will, but this...
Council just wants the mayor to follow the rules passed in January that take her out of deliberations and discussions on items. But the mayor says it's her right. With tensions high,
we need help from our state delegation. We need help from others who can help get us in the right direction.
Both parties seem to think they can work together, but can't agree on a way to make that happen. They're asking the city to keep believing in them. We're told council plans to amend city policies at Monday's meeting to address the censure. A developing story out of Gaza City right now, where dozens of Palestinians were killed in an Israeli airstrike on a school. Palestinian health officials say at least 90 are dead in one of the deadliest days in the 10-month war between Israel and Hamas. The death toll is expected to rise. Mediators are discussing ongoing efforts to de-escalate soaring tensions in the region. Right now, there is an investigation into a passenger plane crash that crashed outside of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Authorities say all 61 people on board that plane are dead. The airline Vopaz revealed all passengers had Brazilian documents, but it's not clear if they had dual citizenship. Flight tracking data shows the plane dropped 17,000 feet in just 1 minute, but it's not clear yet why. A 21-year-old driver is facing DUI charges after crashing into a school bus carrying Rome High School students. It happened Thursday night on Highway 101, about 10 minutes outside of Rockmart. Officials say the Rome High School football team was on their way home from a scrimmage against Rockmart High School. A car hit the bus, causing it to flip into power lines. 15 people were hurt, 10 of them students, including quarterback Aiden McPherson, who called his mother right after that crash.
That's all we heard was Aiden calling his friend's name. He was trying to help them get off of the bus because they had to maneuver themselves out of the top exits and just different areas because the bus had to flip.
Right now, 21-year-old Joanna Underwood is charged with DUI and failure to maintain lane. We're told the 15 people hurt in that crash are all out of the hospital. We're learning more about another school bus crash, this one in Gainesville. It happened on Barrett Road just before 4:30 Friday afternoon. Officers say a Jeep crashed into a Hall County school bus, injuring 4 students and the bus driver. Everyone is expected to be okay. We're told the driver of the Jeep was cited for failure to maintain lane and failure to stop for a school bus. A member of the Georgia House of Representatives is facing 7 DUI charges, accused of hitting a cyclist in Atlanta. Republican Representative Devin Sebo represents part of Cobb County. Authorities say he was driving a Cadillac SUV Thursday night on Memorial Drive when he hit a cyclist in front of Oakland Cemetery in the Grant Park neighborhood. The crash happened in a brand new bike lane. We spoke to people who live in that neighborhood who say the bike lane is poorly marked, easily misjudged, and that cars often turn into it by mistake. In a statement, the representative says in part he is thankful no one was hurt and he looks forward to the facts coming out and providing clarity to all who are concerned. There will be a rally later on today condemning deaths that have happened in the Fulton County and DeKalb County jails. We hear from family members who had their loved ones die at these facilities. The speakers include Jonah Milburn, the mother of Christian Collins. We have followed this case closely. Collins died at the DeKalb County jail back in March. In recent weeks, video from the jail cell where he was housed shows Christian in distress, and no deputy responded in the 4 hours of video. The DeKalb District Attorney's Office recently said that new information has come to light that needs further examination. Today's rally is at 11 at the DeKalb County Jail. We are now learning more about the impact of Debbie on our state. Governor Brian Kemp was along Georgia's coast on Friday assessing the damage left behind by the tropical storm and once hurricane. Along with downed trees and flooded homes and streets, tens of thousands of power outages were reported in the state. Sadly, one person died here in Georgia, but there were deaths reported in other states. Governor Kemp says there is still a threat from cresting rivers and lakes.
The storm itself is behind us, but the road to recovery is certainly not. Everyone here and many others throughout the state will be with the communities like this one in support until that recovery is complete.
This week, Governor Kemp also extended a state of emergency order for the entire state until August 15th. Let's check back in with our meteorologist, Nicole Hartford, for their weather impact forecast. It's nice that these people will be able to have some sunshine to start helping them to recover from Debbie. Nicole.
Yeah, it dropped a lot of rainfall along the Atlantic coast. It's now just kind of remnants, some unorganized showers and storms, still producing some rainfall, though, as it collides with a cold front up into the far northeast. That cold front stretches all the way down into portions of central and south Georgia, and behind it, our winds have shifted around towards the northwest. There's no rain for us associated with this front. You can tell a lot of dry air across the southeast right now, which is going to be sinking even further southward. What does that mean for us? Some slightly lower humidity. Now, it's not going to be a major change, but we'll go from oppressive dew points, those dew points a measure of our mugginess, down to just flat out humid by tonight and tomorrow. You'll notice the difference. It won't be quite as stifling out there, but it is still going to be on the muggy side. It's summer after all throughout the next couple of days, especially into the far northwest corner of the state, though. I think you'll definitely notice that drop in humidity, especially when it comes to the morning temperatures. High temperatures still going to be hot. We'll get up into the low to mid 90s today, right around 94 degrees for that high in Atlanta. Usual or average high for this time of year is right around 90. So we're running a couple degrees above our seasonal averages, and we'll continue to see that heat through this weekend as well as into next week. Maybe a degree or two drop here and there, but not a lot of change when it comes to our high temperatures. That does mean we will have a little bit of a heat risk through the next couple of days, but with the falling humidity, shouldn't be nearly as high as what it was just a couple days ago. Our heat risk today only in the moderate range throughout much of metro Atlanta, into the major for some, and then that falls down even into the minor category for many as we get into Sunday and Monday. With falling humidity, there's just not as much moisture in the air, which means not really much of a chance for rainfall. A couple spotty showers, maybe a stray storm will develop by this afternoon across far northeast Georgia, but I think the vast majority of us, if not all of us, will stay completely dry. Rain chances lower than 10%. In fact, we'll stay mainly dry throughout the next few days. It's not until the middle of the week that we slowly start to reintroduce the potential for some rainfall. It's great news if you're hoping to get outdoors, enjoy the outdoors with some outside plans either today or tomorrow. It's going to be hot, but it's going to be nice and it's going to be dry. We could use some additional rainfall. We've seen big improvements on our drought monitor over the last couple of weeks thanks to all the rainfall in July. We're still seeing areas of abnormally dry conditions that stretch through portions of metro Atlanta into North Fulton County as well as out towards Cobb and Cherokee, but we are no longer seeing any of the moderate or severe drought across our area. That's big improvements. The percentage of our state in drought has dramatically changed over the course of the last couple of months. At the end of May, we had no drought drought across North Georgia. By early July, almost 100% of the state had some form of drought, and then now we're only seeing 20% of the state in drought. We could still use that additional rainfall, though. I know we're just getting off of tracking Tropical Storm Debbie, the remnants of Debbie now, but there's another area, Invest 98L, that is currently in the Atlantic that we'll be watching closely over the next couple of days. This has a high chance of development, 80% from the National Hurricane Center, as it moves up towards the northwest, towards the Lesser Antilles. Right now, it looks like a steering ridge of high pressure up towards the north should help to bring all of that tropical moisture, veer it up towards the north. But we're going to be watching this very closely. We're still days out from any potential organization or strengthening from this tropical system, but right now it looks like it may end up staying away from the Atlantic coast. Still, however, something to watch. If it does manage to strengthen into a tropical storm, which is likely, the next name on the list would be Ernesta. We are just getting into when the tropics really start to heat up. The statistical peak of hurricane season comes in September as we start to see the warmer temperatures across the Atlantic. Our 7-day forecast, a nice quiet one. I mentioned the return of rain chances as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Those will steadily be rising. We'll see some isolated to maybe even scattered showers and storms by the end of this upcoming week. Ariana?
All right, thank you, Nicole. Staying on top of breaking news out of Cobb County, where police say an armed man was shot and killed by police inside of a Walgreens. Our Erica Murphy joins us live right now. Erica, this all unfolding late last night. What have you learned about how all of this happened?
Ariana, what we know is that Cobb County police say that they encountered a wanted man inside this Walgreens here on Cobb Parkway last night. And when they tried to approach that man, things turned deadly for everyone. Now, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation is slated to take over this case. Cobb County police say this happened Friday night inside the store just before 11:30. Police are also saying as they moved to approach this man, a struggle ensued. And during that struggle, the man was shot and then taken to Kennesaw Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Now, what is interesting about this whole situation is what police are not saying. They're not saying how many officers were involved in this shooting, and they're not saying what led them to this store in the first place. Reporting from Cobb County, Erica Murphy, 11Alive News.
Thank you so much, Erica. We'll stay on top of this breaking news for you and bring you more information throughout the day. Make sure you visit 11alive.com and download the 11Alive News app. Right now, we're working to learn the condition of a teen hit by a train in Duluth. Police say it happened a Thursday near Rock Road and Main Street. Police say the teen was walking either or near the tracks when the Norfolk Southern train came. Police say the train sounded a horn but was not able to stop in time. At last check, the teen was in critical condition. Right now, the Cobb County District Attorney's Office is warning you about a scam. They say scammers are posing as prosecutors from the DA's office and asking for money to pay court costs and fees to get a case closed or to get your record expunged. The Cobb County DA's office says it will never ask for payments via email and would also never ask for money to close a case. An update to a story that we've been following for the last 24 hours. Police say they believe a vehicle that crashed into a Southwest Atlanta CVS may have been used to try and steal an ATM inside. It happened around 4 Friday morning at the CVS on Cascade Road. CVS representatives, they tell us they're working with police to investigate. In the meantime, the store is still open to customers. We could be in the middle of a summer COVID surge as some western states and a couple of Georgia neighbors see a rise in cases. That's according to estimates from the CDC. We spoke to local doctors who say just because cases are low now here in Georgia does not mean you should let your guard down. They say getting more time outside could be the key to helping you avoid catching the virus.
Similar to winter when you're around people because it's cold outside, here in Atlanta, where it's very hot and almost prohibitive from being outside, we're often inside with people with closed ventilation, closed windows, and thereby it may be easier to transmit that way.
While we don't see many people wearing face masks these days, we're told that's still the best way to avoid catching COVID. According to AAA today, the average price for gas in our state is around $3.24. That's 40 cents less than what we were paying a year ago. Throughout campaign season, political candidates are vying for your vote, promising to lower gas prices. 11Alive's Joe Ripley shows you how realistic those promises are.
Xenia Villa is pumping gas, but I wouldn't call it filling up.
Just $5 because I don't have a lot of money, so that's actually all I'm gonna do.
The young Alpharetta driver says hitting the road this summer is weighing down her wallet.
Inflation will be in full retreat.
On the campaign trail, former President Donald Trump is promising to return gas prices to sub-$2 levels like in 2020. Tom Smith, an economist at Emory University's Goizueta School, says those good old gas prices of 4 years ago aren't coming back.
This is in the middle or as we're going into the COVID crisis. People weren't driving anywhere.
Smith says inflation has steadied the last 6 months and gas prices have actually fallen because the U.S. is producing more oil than it ever has. According to AAA, in Georgia, gas is $3.24 a gallon on average. Gas cost you 40 cents more a year ago, and 2 years ago you were paying $4.50 a gallon. Sean Jones is used to paying over $100 to fill up his 32-gallon tank.
Once they get in office, things change, and I think a lot of times they don't even control those prices anyway.
But when it comes to promises to lower gas prices,
I really want to believe them. I really do, because I want them to get lower, but I don't know. I feel like they always say that and then it just never happens.
In Fulton County, Joe Ripley, 11Alive News.
Smith says any event overseas could throw gas prices into flux, but he largely expects gas prices to get cheaper heading into the fall. Checking in right now on the tarmac at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, where we're getting a behind-the-scenes look at a project that's impacting thousands of travelers, expanding Concourse D. This annex to the airport opened back in 1980 and was designed to accommodate planes smaller than the ones more commonly used today. But as airplanes have grown, those gates have also expanded. As Jerry Carnes reports, the work to add 22,000 square feet to Concourse D is being carefully hidden.
At the world's busiest airport, this may be the busiest place of all. Concourse D is changing. The heavy-duty work needed to make that happen is taking place on one side of a wall, while on the other side, inches away, busy airline passengers go about their business, unaware.
Do you notice anything different about this particular concourse?
No, nothing new.
It took a year and a half to develop a plan that allows construction and travel to exist in harmony.
It would have been very easy for any construction team to have walked in here and said, we're going to close off all these spaces. We have taken into account the traveling public.
Members of the airport's planning and development team took us behind the wall to see the work. Concourse D is getting wider, taller, and longer to accommodate bigger planes and more passengers.
We're going to open our first couple gates here September 5th. And we've really got to be organized and dialed in.
It begins at a modular yard a few miles away where additions to the concourse are built, then rolled across the runways in the middle of the night. It takes precision to make sure the new structure fits onto the old.
We're talking about 1/16 of an inch in terms of tolerance.
Crews are now running cable so that old and new can communicate.
What they're pulling now is the Wi-Fi side.
In just a few weeks, this area will open to passengers while this area empties out so crews can dismantle and remodel.
What's really going to be apparent is the volume of space.
Breathing new life into this 40-year-old area of Hartsfield-Jackson. And so far, airline passengers have hardly noticed. Jerry Carnes, 11Alive News.
Construction on the north end of Concourse D will wrap up September 5th. The focus will then shift to lengthening the course. The entire project is scheduled to wrap in the summer of 2019. A student loan repayment plan faces yet another challenge right now. The SAFE plan lowers monthly payments on student loan debt, but right now there are legal challenges from several Republican-led states, including here in Georgia. Friday, an appeals court sided with those states on a decision to block the plan from being implemented any further for right now. The 8 million borrowers enrolled in the plan still do not have to make payments at this time. With the kids back in school, many stay-at-home parents might be considering heading back to work as well. Children's Healthcare of Atlanta wants to help you with that transition. Children's is now hiring more for its 21st Mom Force session. The program is designed to give parents connections and experience to re-enter the workforce. Participants will work part-time for 20 hours a week in non-clinical areas. Since the program started in 2013, 142 Mom Force associates have completed this program, and many have found permanent roles at Children's. The fall 2024 session runs from October 7th through December 18th. Children's is accepting applications until August 12th. For more information on how to apply, visit 11alive.com. You'll find the story and links on 11Alive. Just look for it under the featured section on our homepage. All right, it may be time for you to invest in your own Costco membership because now the retailer is cracking down to prevent you from using someone else's. Costco says it plans to use devices to scan your cards at store entrances. You'll have to show ID if your membership card does not have one. The fragrant scent of Auntie Anne's, it is so addictive. It can be hard to walk past in the food court in the mall without just breaking down to buy a pretzel. But would you want to wear a perfume inspired by your pretzel? Get this, the pretzel brand says the fragrance has notes of buttery dough, salt, and a little bit of sweetness. The scent is called Need and launches this month. Bottles range from $25 to $45. Would you want to smell like a pretzel? All right, so we want to introduce you to our pet of the week. Meet Boss.
Get down to business and meet Boss. But he's not a stern and serious businessman. He's a sweet, happy fella bursting with energy. A 1-year-old shepherd mix, he's a large boy who loves to run around and play. Give him a big backyard to explore or have him join you for a hike. Boss will be a happy camper. He also loves our splash pads here at Atlanta Humane, so he'd be a great dog for the beach, lakes, or other water adventures. With his high energy level, Boss needs an experienced owner who can help rein him in. Boss needs a boss. He can be shy and timid around new people, so he'll need a little time and patience to warm up to you. But bring along those treats to help coax him along. He loves them. He's getting his training down too and knows commands like sit and shake. He also does well around other dogs and would likely do well with older children. Boss would be a great addition to an active family who has the space to let him release his energy. If you're looking for a sweet and loving playtime partner, read more about Boss on Atlanta Humane's website.
And remember those doggos for the afternoon temperatures. It's going to be hot out there, highs in the low to mid 90s. Remember, the pavement gets hot, so test it before you take those dogs out on a walk. Morning, definitely the time you're going to want to do anything outdoors, whether you're going for a jog or just getting outside. The temperatures in the morning will be a lot more comfortable. What's going to help us out today, however, is the falling humidity. It'll be gradual, so you may not start to notice it until tomorrow afternoon or even Monday, but it won't be quite as muggy out there in the next couple of days. The biggest difference this will have, other than just making it a little more tolerable when it comes to the heat, is it'll impact our overnight low temperatures. We'll fall from the mid 70s, like what we're seeing now, to the low 70s by tomorrow morning. Lots of sun in the forecast for the next couple of days. No rain chances return until the middle of this upcoming week.
Happening today, an annual gathering that will support scholarships for students right here in Metro Atlanta heading to Florida A&M University. Be Out Day Atlanta kicks off at noon in Central Park. The event is happening until 6 and the whole family can attend. You can participate in field day games, sports, tournaments, and enjoy food trucks. All right, Zoo Atlanta could be the perfect place to spend your weekend as some families will be able to get free admission. The zoo is hosting family days for residents who live in Atlanta or Fulton County. Employees of the city and county government are also included. You will be able to get free admission for 2 adults and up to 4 children today and tomorrow. There will also be free parking in some areas. To get in the zoo for free, you must have an ID or utility bill showing you are eligible to participate. Today, families are still able to get some help setting their children up for success. The South DeKalb Family YMCA is hosting their Back to School Bash today. Several organizations are handing out school supplies to both students and teachers. The event will also feature fun with bounce houses and games. It's from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. You do not need to register, but teachers have to show their school ID to get those school supplies.
If it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck. If it's up, then it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck.
Did you do a little dance? Because I did. The One Music Fest lineup is out. Cardi B, Gunna, Jill Scott, Victoria Monet, and Earth, Wind & Fire are set to take the stage. This will be the festival's 15th year. It's happening October 26th and 27th at Piedmont Park. Tickets are now on sale. All right, thank you for spending part of your weekend with us. Remember, the news continues online at 11alive.com. Go out and have a great and cool Saturday.